Okay, I'm back. So, okay. So I was watching the Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles Last Man Standing matchup from last year's Hard Justice pay-per-view, I think it was, and great matchup, awesome matchup. Like I think it was like a lot of people considered it like the match of the year, like in TNA for 2008, and it was a really good matchup. But the problem I have with this match, though, well, I guess you could have with any matchup, it's just the commentators. Now, if any of you have ever watched Spinnernet's like concerns with TNA video that he recently did, first thing he's like, "I want Mike Tenay and Don West to be fired," and I totally agree with him, because like they do overreact to everything, but this is like a couple things that they said during the match that didn't make any sense to me. Like, okay, before like the matchup starts, like Kurt Angle is like playing mind games with AJ Styles, like he drops down to the ring floor a couple of times when it looks like he's gonna get in the ring to fight him, and Mike Tenay says something like, "Kurt Angle drops to the floor," or no, he doesn't say that. Kurt Angle drops to the floor. Appropriate time of year with the Olympics in China for the Olympic gold medalist to face AJ Styles. What the fuck does that mean? Like, how do you compare like the Olympics to a pro wrestling matchup? If he would have said something like, Kurt Angle was an Olympic gold medalist, he won that, he's gonna win tonight or something, that might make some sense. But like today was like just talking about like the Olympics, like in China, like going on with this. It was like, what the fuck does that mean? Do any of you know what that means? So, and then what else was funny later in the matchup was the rules for this match were kind of weird. It was like you had to get like a 3 count on your opponent, and then the ref would start counting to 10. So I guess it's like an old school last man standing match maybe. But so what was funny was like later in this matchup was I think like one of them was Kurt Angle might have been pinning AJ or something, and Don West was like, "You've got to not answer the 10 count." So basically that means that you shouldn't get up when the 10 count's going on so you can lose the matchup. So again, that's a nice comment by Don West. And the one thing that I don't get with this is like, they're supposed to be like, with Tenay's knowledge or whatever, he should have said something like, "If I was this wrestler, I would just take the 3 count because that's a couple extra seconds of a break you could get." They never said anything about that. Like, I think Don West did say something about like when Kurt Angle had AJ Styles in the ankle lock, he's like, AJ should tap out so that way he'll like break the hold or something. But it's like, they didn't say anything though about getting pinned like that. And at the same time too, like, I just lost my train of thought. But like at the same time too, theoretically Kurt Angle wouldn't have to break the ankle lock though, so it's just, I don't know, it's just weird stuff like that kind of bugs me with TNA. So that's basically like my 2 cents on today and Don West, just like in that match itself. So if anybody actually like wants to defend them or something, leave me some comments about like some of the good they do. But even like Spinnernet said, like, and I agree with him too, because I joke about Michael Cole, with the whole use of the word vintage and all that. I'm not a big Michael Cole fan, but I can listen to him, like, because he actually, like, he just seems like a lot better, like, of a commentator. So that's my 2 cents on that. My Radius 2x cents. I'm just joking. I know you're gonna watch this video, Radius, so yeah, I'd like to revoke what I just said. I'm taking it back. Just like if I wanted to put this CD here, I took it back. Okay, so my other story I wanted to do was like, all right, so I went to school yesterday, and we had a quiz yesterday in my class, and like if you're late to the class, you're gonna miss the quiz. So I'm driving to school. Like I live about 50 minutes to an hour from school. And I'm driving, and I get stuck behind a bus, and it's like you can't like pass the bus like right when the bus like starts going again, because well, one, it's real risky, but two, it's like you already got a car over there too, so if you get stuck behind your bus, like unless you can find like a back road to take, you're kind of fucked. And in my case, I couldn't find a back road to take because it would have just taken like just as long if I'd have just stayed behind the bus. So I was like, oh great. So I get stuck behind the bus for like 15 minutes or so, and then that's like 15 minutes of driving I lost. So I finally get to this one other main road and there's like a back country road I take, which goes to this main road, Route 30, and Route 30 takes me probably at least a good close to 3/4 of the way to school, maybe. So I'm gonna take this back country road to get to 30 because that's like the fastest way to get to Route 30 from like my house. So I'm about to get to 30, and there's a freaking semi truck like on this little like back road or something, because it's kind of weird. Like there's a back road here, then there's a little outlet here that goes to Route 30. He was on the freaking like little outlet, and it was just like, he blocks all the road, and I think he was stuck or something. Like, I don't get why he would like want to even go that way for his truck route. I mean, it might save a couple minutes, but it's like he would have a hell of a hard time making a turn like on those back roads. So I don't know why the fuck he was going that way. So like I had to go a different way to get to Route 30, and that was like another like 5 to 10 minutes of driving. So it's like I lost like 20 minutes of driving already, like maybe 20 to 25, and I finally get to Route 30, and it's like I have like 25 minutes to get to class on time. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like late and not get to take my quiz. So I went like 80 miles on Route 30. Like the speed limit's 60. Yeah, I hate going like that fast. Like I used to do like 65, maybe 70 or something sometimes. But it's like I went 80 miles and shit. And I'm all like, oh, I'm gonna get pulled over. And I keep like looking, and I didn't get pulled over though. But what was funny though was I got like usually what would take me like normally like maybe 20 minutes, I got there in like maybe 10 minutes. So, and then what was funny was I was going up. There's a route called 421 that takes me like all the way to school, but like there's always a lot of semis, and you get to a town called Westville, and that's like a slow. Like usually the speed limit there is 30, but in the mornings it's 20 because like the kids going to school and stuff. So I'm about to get to Westville. What's funny is like there's this big semi truck that's like a huge like wide load thing, and what was funny was when I got to the train tracks, like people were kind of slowing down by him, and these are usually good train tracks, but like I looked and there was like a piece of the train track, like metal part of it was propped up like this, so like that wide load thing was so heavy I must have did that for the tracks. I was like, damn. So then I get to Westville, and then 20 miles an hour, so that's slow, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna not make it to my quiz. So then I finally like get to the parking lot, and there's like maybe 2 minutes left or something until the class starts, and so I like walk as fast as I can. Can't run because I have it's not a broken ankle anymore, but I had surgery on it, so I can't really do a lot of impact on it anymore. So I get to class like just on time. So I was happy that happened. But what else kind of sucked too is we had like a couple case study assignments over the weekend that I had to do, and they're really time consuming. So like, and they were due like at the beginning of class, and my class already turned it in, so I was kind of freaking out like during class, like after the quiz, I was just like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get these things turned in. So I explained to my teacher what happened with the bus, and she was like, that's fine, you can turn it in. So that was a relief. But yeah, that was my interesting day yesterday. So probably see you guys next week at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna get to do any videos or not because I got a lot of school shit to do. So but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.